In a prior lesson, we learned about multiple types of storage classes, and we skipped over Glacier storage classes, so now let's go ahead and focus on those. AWS used to have a service called Amazon Glacier, which was primarily used for long-term archival storage. You'd use regular Amazon S3 to store your data that you would need to regularly access, and then you'd use Glacier for cheaper archival storage. However, AWS is removing this service and has instead added it as a storage class under regular Amazon S3. So now we have archival storage classes for S3 that can be broken down into these three different tiers. You have Amazon S3 Glacier Instant Retrieval, you have S3 Glacier Flexible Retrieval, and you have S3 Glacier Deep Archive. Let's talk about these storage classes in a lot more detail. So S3 Glacier Instant Retrieval offers significant savings compared to S3 Standard IA, which is already cheaper than regular S3 Standard. Because retrievals are charged, this class only makes sense for objects that are accessed infrequently, and so we're usually talking about either once or maybe twice per quarter at most. It also has a 90-day minimum storage duration with early deletion fees if you were to remove that data before the 90 days. This class is ideal for any sort of data that you access occasionally but will still need immediately whenever you need to access it. Or that could be things like long-lived application data that again is not regularly used, definitely not daily. You could be looking at things like user archives where most users probably never access them, but on occasion you may have users that request them. Or things like medical images, which again, that you do need to be able to quickly retrieve. You can't wait minutes or hours, but they often don't get accessed. And so you can use this class whenever you need that millisecond access, as well as high durability with continued 11 nines of durability, as well as 99.9% availability. On the other hand, S3 Glacier Flexible Retrieval is slightly cheaper than S3 Glacier Instant Retrieval by up to about 10% lower. But the trade-off here is that you have much slower retrieval times. Instead of millisecond access, retrieval times can range anywhere from a few minutes to multiple hours, depending on how much data and the type of data, and also just the service. So this class is definitely not designed for quick access. It does provide 11 nines of durability, 99.99% availability, and it also has a 90-day minimum storage duration, as well as retrieval charges. So this class is going to be a good fit for long-term backups, as well as disaster recovery. And a common pattern here being that maybe you can store your primary backups in a faster storage class, and then use flexible retrieval as that long-term, lower-cost tier for your secondary backups if the first backups fail or were compromised or whatever. Finally, we have S3 Glacier Deep Archive. This class is the lowest cost storage class in S3, where you could see prices cut by roughly 75% lower than S3 Glacier Flexible Retrieval. So it's meant for data that you almost never need to access, and if you do need to access it, it's probably at most once a year. It comes with a 180-day minimum storage duration. It has slow retrieval times, retrieval fees, and so it's best suited for long-term retention. This class will be a good fit for data that you have to keep for years, probably for compliance or regulatory requirements. You could be talking about workloads in financial services, in healthcare, in media and entertainment, and or in the public sector. So any organization that's looking for an alternative to physical tape storage on premises that is looking for something that's cheaper, they could use this storage class. So as we wrap up this lesson, I want to leave you with this tip. On the exam, pay close attention to various keywords like the retrieval time requirements, compliance retention, access frequency, and also cost sensitivity. These are going to be some keywords that will help you match the scenario to the proper storage class, whether that will be a Glacier storage class, like the ones we just talked about, or even the prior storage classes that we previously talked about. But otherwise, that's the core of what you need to know about for S3 Glacier in the context of the security specialty exam. So let's go ahead and complete this lesson, and let's move on to the next.